Hello and welcome to another Bodgit and Leggit video. Now we have a 2006 Opel Astra and we don't have a left hand indicator, so I wasn't going to film this because I just thought it was going to be a fuse or a bulb. I've checked the fuse and the bulb and nothing. Now this has come from a couple of different shops. As you can see, there's been work on it. I don't know what's been done. I can see the fuse box lid there. So there's a few things been done to it. It's the fuse box, I think. Anyway, a few bits been done to it, and it's going for an NCT. And so just turn the ignition on. See, that indicator's working, and that one's flashing really fast. But we've got no bulbs whatsoever on the left-hand side. So if we can figure this out, we're going to be look pretty good, and if we can't, I'll still post the video anyway, so we'll see what we can do. But obviously it's not just a simple case of a bulb or a fuse. So I've got my wiring diagram beside me. I cannot show you the wiring diagram, and people that follow me know why. So I'll try and explain it as best I can without showing the wiring diagram. And yeah, so let's crack on and see what we can do. First thing I'm going to do is plug the scan tool in, just to see if I can control it, just to see if there's anything. Now, I know it's indicator side, so I'm not expecting too much, but we'll try that first. If there's anything coming up, because it's been to a couple of different shops, I don't know what's been done to it. I don't know if things have been disconnected, I just don't know. So I'm going to the wrong one. I don't need to do that. Just end that. Yes. Oh. So we'll just see if there is anything, and if there's any controls maybe I can get into, just to see. Oh, I've done it again. Just want to see if there's any faults in the engine. No faults in the engine. So let's see what type of bi-directional controls we've got. What else have we got here? Electric climate control, body control. We'll go into that. It's not a mobilizer. Just want to see if we've got anything here we can go into. If I don't find anything, we're just going to have to go for it. Accelerator sensor. Here we go. Turn signal feedback circuit open or low voltage. Now, there we go. So B31. See, this is why we go into it. So we have some sort of direction on where to go. Right, so do we have a feed problem? Can we actuate anything? Here we go. Turn signal test. I really do like this sensor. Now that's just turned on the hazards. But we've still got nothing working. It's turning both of them on together, but oh no, let's just turn one of them on there. But anyway, we've still got nothing, so we've got control from the computer, in the sense of we can seem to control something. So I don't think there's going to be anything else on this that's going to do us. That's why I'm always said bi-directional controls. We've got control from the actual computer, but we don't seem to be having any lights. Now when I look at my wiring diagram, which I cannot show you, I'll have to just show you the dash. We've got K11L and K11R. There are ignition, or there are indicator relays, left and right. Obviously L is left, R is right. So if you don't know anything about relays, which you should do, very simple, they're just a switch. You've got the power coming in on pin 86, which then energizes the coil, which then puts power into whatever you happen to be powering. So we need to make sure there's power and earth coming into our relay. That's the first thing we need to do. So let's get to the relay box, and let's first we'll check the relay, and then we'll see if we can actually swap the relay. Well, we'll get to the relays box and we'll see. Now it's like everything, there's lots of different ways of testing lots of different things. You can test your relay with one of these fellas, and what that does is you put it up, you turn on whatever you need to turn on, and you need to know what relay you're looking at for this thing to work. And essentially what happens is when you come close to a relay, it detects a magnetic field, and as you can see, it goes red. So if I just drop that off, it's now white, and I put it close to it, it turns red. So that detects the magnetic field of a relay. Or then you can have like a relay box like this, or you can jumper it. There's loads of different ways, but I've got, at the minute, I didn't drag up the fuse box location in the sense of which fuses or which relays do what. So what I've done is I've just turned on the hazards, and you can actually touch the relay, and I can feel it's this one here. So these are our two relays here, and if I want to know which one is left and right, all I'm going to do is turn on the right hand one, but I can kind of already feel, because the hazards are on, only one relay is working. So this obviously has to be the right hand one, and this is the left hand one. So let me just turn the hazards off, and what we'll do is we'll just swap these relays, because they're both the same relays. We'll just quickly swap the relays and see if the indicator works on the opposite side. If it does, we know we've got a dodgy relay. If it doesn't, we know we've got a wiring issue. I quickly pulled that one out. So what we need to do is, the switches are still on. It's only a relay. I know what people are going to say, oh, you're going to do damage and all this sort of stuff. No, you just won't. This starts clicking. We know it's not a simple case of a relay, but to be honest, if this does, the other shop should have either copped that. Right, that's clicking, people. So it's not a relay issue. It just isn't. I'll show you how to actually use one of these. Now what I have seen, these are both genuine GM relays, which is good. They're not an aftermarket relay, so that's one thing we can kind of counter out. And also there's the wiring diagram for a relay, but like I said, you should really know what a relay is. So what I'm going to do, it's a 4 or 5 pin. This is a 4 pin, so I'm going to shove it in there. Try and do this on camera. Now you do have to be careful with these testers, because if the relay is sticking, the tester, as long as it's clicking, the tester will say it's okay. So you have to really listen and make sure it's okay. Press the test button. And we're not working. Why aren't we working? You got a good connection? Right, I think my connection's a bit dodgy. Just let me see if I can get this working, and then I'll turn the camera back on. Right, I'm not sure what happened there, but I just put on my booster pack. So what we're going to do is press and hold it, and you'll hear it clicking. Always a good idea to keep kind of pressing it. You want to hear that clicking all the time, and you want to put it under a bit of stress. So you want to do it a few times, but like I said, I've seen these boxes, even though this wasn't the cheapest one by any stretch of imagination, but I've seen them to be kind of stuck, and then after you energize them, they work, and the box still says it's okay. So just be aware of that fact. You want it to hear it. If it misses one click, you want to replace it. So I've done that with both of them, and they both are testing okay, but we know they are because we've swapped them around on the circuit and they both are working. So now we're chasing powers and grounds on the left-hand relay. I know if I don't show you the name, it's the Lila 69300. It's the master kit. I know if I don't do that, people are going to ask me, oh, what's the kit called? And then I get questions of where can I find it? Look, people, Google it. Depending where you are in the world, it's loads of different places. Put that into Google if you want it. You will find out where your nearest stockist is. It's an absolute brilliant kit. As you can see, we've got tools to remove the relays. We've got jumper wires, we've got switches, we've got all sorts. I think it's the white one we need. Yeah, that's a 4-pin. Yep. And what it allows me to do is shove this in the hole, and I have the pin so I can probe them and do stuff and put the relay back in to the system. So let me do that and turn the camera back on. Work on the battery because I had it the wrong way. The black leads are the power. Okay, so just make sure you look. Right, so I've got the little jumper in, so it just makes me easier to get the test points, as you can see. So we've got terminal 30 coming into our fuse, which is a 7.5 amp, which controls these relays. So pin 86 is going to be our power coming in. Pin 30 is going to be our power when we turn on the indicator switch. And then pin 87 is going to be sending our power through to, in this case, our indicators or whatever it happens to be powering. And pin 85 is going to be our earth. Now it looks like it's going through the ECU, but anyway, so what we need to do first is we need to check pin 86 and see if we've got power. Right, our ignition is off. It's terminal 30, remember, coming from our battery. Pin 86, this should light up. Right, we have no power whatsoever. So we have a power issue first. Right, so what I've done is I've moved our test light on to the positive. And now what we need to do is check the earth. Now this is a computer controlled earth, so this should now flash as the indicators would flash. And there we go. So we have earth, computer controlled earth, but we don't have power. So that's our problem. We are missing power for this solenoid to activate our lights. Right, what I want to do is I want to jump the relay, and I want to see if the wiring is okay from our relay to our bulbs, make sure they light up. So pin 30 and 86, what this should do now is, so I'm going to do it quickly, this should light up our indicator. Our indicator should be permanently lit. What? They're not. Oh. No, they're not. Right. The plot thickens. Looks like we're missing 2 wires now. Am I going mad? Am I missing something simple here? Ooh, that should work. Right, let me, just for shits and giggles, pull out this, put it on there. Come on. Let me get this set up. Go, did exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm not imagining things. I know it should have worked, and it didn't work. So it looks like we're missing a power wire feeding the relay, and the power wire coming out of the relay. The plot thickens. The plot thickens, people. Oh, hold on. Can you see that? Ha! Bingo was his name-o. Now, before I say anything, can anyone spot anything? I think we've cracked it. Sorted. Now, I shouldn't really celebrate too early. Now, let me just check this out. Now, what did I say was missing? A power coming in and a power coming out. Boom. We are missing them, but we're not just missing them in the sense of they're cut. We are actually missing them. The pin 87 and 86, the power coming in and the power feeding the lights is not there, people. It actually, the pins are just not there. This is the worst thing about working on cars that other people have worked on. You just don't know what's happened. You just don't know. I mean, the car doesn't look to be crashed, so I can't see a reason why the fuse box was changed. But has someone taken out and ripped out the pins, or I'm wondering now. I'm wondering, is there just one unit for this? Is it one big relay and not two relays? My wiring diagram shows two relays, but I'm wondering now, do I have the wrong wiring diagram? I'm gonna have to do a bit of checking and see what the story is, people. Right, I know I'm gonna get people most probably screaming, saying, oh, you should have known there was a special relay in there. Right, I'm looking at the wiring diagram, which unfortunately I cannot show you, and it states two separate relays with all the wires going into each relay. It also, on the component list, it also mentions two separate relays, KLLR, which is blinker relay left, and K11L and K11R, which is blinker relay left and right. And also, when you look closely, you can actually see the cutouts for two separate relays. So, like I said, I didn't have this. I don't see enough of one particular car coming in to know what should and shouldn't really be there. I did a quick search to see the relay, and yet it does seem to be that a lot of these, well, most of these, if not all these, do have a big yellow relay, which is basically two relays in one. So it only has one power coming in and it powers both sides. Again, like I said, this has been messed with. I didn't know. I'm looking at a wiring diagram showing two separate relays. I'm looking at here showing two separate relays. There was two relays in it when I come to it. So I only had that to work off. So it is what it is. Someone, whoever had this, obviously had a problem with the original relay, stuck two in, thought they'd get away with it, and hasn't. So, yes, my excuses are all over. But at the end of the day, all that matters is we figured it out with the wrong information, and well, I say we fixed it, I don't know yet. I'm going to quickly run down, there's a scrapyard just a few miles from me. I'm going to quickly run down to it and see if I can get a relay and just bang it in and just see what happens. Again, I wouldn't recommend getting a second-hand relay, but the nearest dealer to me is like 40 miles away, and yeah, I'm not just waiting another 3 or 4 days for a relay, because we still might have another issue here. Why was the old relay gone? Do we have an issue? I just don't know. So I'm gonna have to get a second-hand relay and let's see what happens. Boom! Look what we've got. And yes, you can basically see the two relays in there, and the two pins were essentially missing. You can actually see them. Well, we're not missing because this is the way it's supposed to be. Now, I'm going to ask the question, because Dan did on his last video too. Lucky enough, I haven't spent a long time on this, but I'm not going to charge the customer a lot. But who should pay for this? I want you to answer the question. In my defense, not making excuses, I'm looking at a wiring diagram. I'm seeing two separate relays. I saw two separate relays in there, and I'm seeing two outlines for two separate relays. So I'm going off the wiring diagram. I don't see enough of these cars to know you know, what should or shouldn't be in them. So let's just imagine this took a really long time. Should the customer pay? I know it's not his problem, but then it's not my problem either. Or should the original garage or whoever did it, should they foot the bill? Be interesting to see what everyone thinks, and because everyone's going to have their opinions on this. Like I said, I'm not going to charge the customer a fortune. I didn't spend a long time on this. We figured it out quite quickly. So, well, I say, hold on, I say we figured it out. Let's put this bad boy in and see, did we figure it out? Can I get it in on camera? There we go. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. We'll just bang on the hazards because that'd be the easiest thing to do. We've got indicators here. We've got indicators. Oh, boom! Boom, boom, boom! Sorted. So that was it. So there we go, people. It just goes to show you, even with information, you can only rely on the information you've got, and unfortunately I had wrong information in this particular case. I would really love to be able to show you the wiring diagram, but I just cannot, because I will get into trouble. So I can't show you the wiring diagram with the two separate relays, two separate part numbers. I know I'm going to get questions about what scan tool I use, and this is it. It's the Launch Diag 4 Diagun, and I have to say, you know, for the price of it, it is very well priced, and it seems to do a lot. It's wireless, really nice. It's hit and miss, but then every single scan tool is. But I'm liking it at the minute, so that's the one I've been using in my last few videos. So there it is, fixed, sorted, done, lovely jubbly. So look, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below, but most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted.